In this episode of the vlog, I am spending my next 2 weeks in Lisbon, so you'll see me in new surroundings. But aside from that, there's nothing really else to say apart from enjoy the rest of this episode. So I signed up for a new gym the other day. I'm going to show you around quickly. I really like it. I've seen new lows over these past 2 or 3 days. And the thing is, I wouldn't have seen these new lows if I had stopped there and then, because 18 days for a lot of people, potentially you included, you wouldn't have given it a chance. That's 18 damn days of my scale weight not going in any particular direction. It was just going up and down within the space of like 0.5 kg. First of all, in situations like that, you have to appreciate how much progress you've made so far. Again, up until that point, I had lost 5.5 kg in total and an average of just over 0.4 kg a week, which is a very solid amount. Now, the reason why I want to mention this is not just for the sake of speaking about myself, it's to tell you that this is normal. Fat loss takes time. This is why you stopping after 4, 5, 6 days of you not seeing your scale weight going the way you want it to just makes no sense. You have to keep going. You have to keep being consistent. So today is Monday, and that means that this entire morning was dedicated to Kairos Online member check-ins, which I love because I always love giving my online members feedback. But now I'm going to go to the gym to train. I want to get my training session, and now I'm going to do a full body B because England are playing Iran in the World Cup next, and I want to get back in time for that. This past week was very consistent, as you can see. Past 7 days, all consistent days. I completely forgot to take my measurements this morning, so I'm going to do it tomorrow. And you might be thinking, why not just do it now? It's because I like to keep it at a consistent time, which is always first thing in the morning before I do anything else, just to minimize any external variables that could impact measurements. But otherwise, here specifically, scale weight has gone down about by half a kg. Even with that happening, I am going to lower calories by 100. Just because I'm only going to be in a deficit for 2 more weeks. I've decided my last day of being in a calorie deficit, so losing weight, is going to be on December the 4th. At the time of recording this is November the 21st, so about 2 more weeks of being in a deficit, and I just want like one last big push. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because I'm seeing consistency across the board, and with that I am seeing results. So first of all, I think it's crazy that I can sit outside in just a t-shirt during late November. Like, that's nuts. I'm not complaining. Secondly, the main reason why I wanted to quickly come in here is because, just to give you a heads up, that I went to the gym today. I just done cardio, 45-minute session. For half that session, I was actually on my Nintendo Switch. I'm going through a bit of an addictive phase with FIFA 23 right now. And you know, some people might hear this, potentially you included, and thinking, FIFA, like, why are you playing Switch as you're doing cardio? Like, you should be going hard. I still was. Put it this way, if I was doing something like HIIT, or I was trying to like do sprints, obviously I wouldn't be on my Switch, but I'm just doing like low intensity, steady state stuff. And as long as I'm in the correct heart rate zone, then I'm doing fine. And I was, as you can see on the image, I was in the correct heart rate zone throughout. And it only starts to drop off towards the end when I start winding it down and bringing it to an end. So it's just to make my cardio more exciting, because 45 minutes of just on the treadmill at a maximum incline, you know, looking at the same thing ahead of me, gets pretty boring. So I want to make it exciting somehow, and you know, bringing my Switch or watching YouTube videos or watching Netflix just makes it more exciting and makes me more consistent with my cardio, and doesn't make me dread it as much, which is important for, you know, consistency. So another consistent week from myself, you know, the usual 4 workouts, 60 minutes of cardio, steps hit, etc, etc. So my average scale weight has pretty much maintained. That's okay because number one, I only lowered my calories last weekend. So it's not been long enough for me to fully maybe see any potential effects that it will have on my body. Because sometimes, you know, the body does take longer than a week to follow up, for lack of a better word. Saying that, I have also had 2 new scale weight lows. So that is also part of my decision. I've had 2 scale weight lows this week, 82.9, and then I had 82.7 just yesterday. Let's see how it goes. Am I expecting a new scale weight low this coming week? Potentially, but let's see. Time will ultimately tell. I think there will be. Again, this is my last week of being in a calorie deficit as well, and then I'm going to transition into maintenance, which I will document for you as well because I think it's important for you to see. Measurements, I took them last on Tuesday, today is Monday, so almost a week ago, and there was no difference, but that's okay. This is why, you know, I like to take more than one indicator of progress, because you'll sometimes find that with certain indicators of progress, some aren't really changing, and then with others they are. So this is why it's good to take as many as possible. Consistent month as well. I probably will have one more inconsistent day, which will potentially be today, but let's see. Otherwise, I'm not going to change anything else this week, considering I just had changes last week and I have seen a new scale weight low. Right now, I'm also feeling quite hungry. Like I could do with something like a sandwich or maybe a bowl of cereal or a bowl of oats. But the thing is, I've also hit my calorie goal for the day already as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to accept that I'm a little bit hungry. It's okay. I'm not starving. I'm not going to die. I'm going to leave it at this for tonight. It's 8 p.m. I'll be going to sleep at like 10. So I'm going to be okay, especially because I know I'm going out to eat tomorrow. Well, at least that's the plan. And I know for a fact tomorrow I'm going to go over my calorie goal then. So I'm not going to go over my calorie goal today. And then again tomorrow, I'm going to take the hit today, knowing that I'm going to enjoy myself tomorrow, because at the end of the day, there's only so much flexibility that someone can have, you and me included, on a weight loss journey and still expect to make progress. Final check-in on my weight loss journey with you to show you the data. Look at how my scale weight has, you know, gone down over the months. Started at 88.7 on my first ever weigh-in, finishing with an average of 82.6 with my lowest at 82.3. So, you know, massive progress there. But I will speak about that more. I will go into more depth at the end. Otherwise, it's just a very consistent week with everything else. As you can see, measurements here too, gone down nicely, 8 centimeters in total. Consistency calendar, just been very consistent. My last day in a calorie deficit was meant to be Sunday the 4th. Turns out my cousin's birthday lands on that day and he wanted to go out to eat, which was fine with me. But then that meant I wasn't in a calorie deficit yesterday. So my last day of being in a calorie deficit was actually Saturday the 3rd, which is fine. Now, I'm going into maintenance, as you know. So I'm going to slightly increase my calories, not by nothing crazy, just by 350 calories. Protein stays the same. And steps is just going to slightly reduce by 500 to start with. So I'm very confident that this is going to lead me nicely into a maintenance phase. But ultimately, time will tell. And if I need to adjust, I will. So as you may know, I usually like to finish the vlog episodes with either me covering a question that I think would be good for you to hear the answer to, or a topic. But in today's one, I'm going to summarize my weight loss journey so far, because this is the last weight loss vlog episode. And then the next one, I'm going to do one vlog episode where you see me transition into maintenance. So to summarize the weight loss journey, I've lost 6.4 kg in just under 16 weeks. That's an average of 0.4 kg a week. So average. Sometimes it was a little bit more, sometimes it was a little bit less, but I'm very happy with that rate when you consider, you know, 2,300 calories on average a day, about 85% consistency. So just very pleased with the fact that I was basically losing weight and still having a life at the same time. Measurements, I went down about, I think it was 8 centimeters around the belly button. Again, consistency calendar around the 85% mark. As you would have seen yesterday, also this is the last point that I've noticed a lot of progress in, is like how much my face has leaned down. So obviously my entire body, but you can really see it in my face because yesterday, as you would have seen, it was my cousin's birthday and I went out to eat. I was with a lot of family members who had not seen me since August, and a lot of them were like, wow, like you've really lost weight. They could just see it in my face. And I already knew that because clothes were fitting different, you know, with all the progression indicators that I've shared with you. But, you know, obviously them saying that as well, it's obviously very clear that a lot has happened within the entire weight loss vlog series that you would have seen. Now, how I'm going to transition into maintenance, I'm only going to increase my calories by about 300 or 400, and that's it. I'm not going to do anything more. I'm not going to do anything less. I'm not going to eat wildly different. I'm going to eat these same things, but just bigger portion sizes, and that's literally it. Like, I already had breakfast today, and it was the exact same stuff. I just had more oats, more chia seeds, more honey, and more dark chocolate. You see, and that's why it's so easy for me to just do this, because a lot of people, potentially you included, when you're looking to lose weight, or when you're looking to maintain your weight, or when you're looking to have a specific fitness goal, you completely change up everything you're eating. And that's why it's really complicated for you. You cannot completely change up your entire lifestyle, every single habit, and just expect yourself to stick to it. What you need to do is maybe just keep eating what you're eating. And if your goal is specifically weight loss, then smaller portion sizes. So let's say you're having rice, just half the rice you would usually have. Or let's say you're going to have, I don't know, 5 cookies, have 2. And I'm very aware adjustments like that aren't sexy or, you know, the most mind-blowing thing that you might want to hear, but they bloody well work. So you do need to do that, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going into maintenance, and you will see that over this last vlog that I'm about to do. Otherwise, I do hope you enjoyed this vlog episode. Any questions on the back of this, just email it to me. I'll leave my email in the caption of this video, or even just leave it in the comments. Check out my social media handles. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I will see you around.